I do is adore you all of the time. I'd like to.
What is up, you guys? Andrew here with Bob Ruth Ford, and today I am in the 2017 Ford Explorer. I will be completely going over this one for you guys today, so let's start with pricing. And so to start, there are going to be several different trim levels available for the 2017 Explorer. First one being the base Explorer, that is going to start at $31,660. Then there is the XLT, which is the one I am in today. That is going to start at $33,775. Limited trim is going to start at $41,675. Sport trim is going to start at $45,355. And lastly, the Platinum, that is going to start at $53,235. And so, but then when it comes to the power plant, there are actually 3 different engine setups available for this one. And really, the engine setup kind of depends on the trim level, and I'll go over that a little bit. But first engine setup is going to be the 3.5 liter naturally aspirated V6, putting out 290 horsepower at 6,500 RPM and 255 pound-feet of torque, available at 4,000 RPM. MPGs on that one's going to come in at 17 city, 24 highway. Power is going to be sent to either the front wheels or all 4 wheels through Ford's 4-wheel drive system. And that power for every single engine setup is going to be sent to the wheels through a 6-speed select shift automatic. And so, but if you do go with the XLT trim like I have today, there is one additional engine setup available to you. That is going to be the 2.3 liter EcoBoost 4-cylinder engine. And EcoBoost meaning turbocharged, of course. That one is going to put out 280 horsepower, 5,600 RPM, and 310 pound-feet of torque, available at 3,000 RPM. And of course, with it being a turbocharged setup, that is going to give you slightly better MPGs, coming in at 19 city, 27 highway for the front-wheel drive, or 18 city, 25 highway for the 4-wheel drive. But then last engine setup, this one is going to be standard on the Sport and Platinum trim levels. That is going to be the 3.5 liter EcoBoost V6. This EcoBoost engine setup, though, is actually twin turbocharged, but that one is going to put out 365 horsepower, 5,500 RPM, and 350 pound-feet of torque, available at 3,500 RPM. MPGs on that one, 16 city, 22 highway, and by the way, 4-wheel drive does come standard on that one. And I gotta say, when it comes to ride quality, it really is pretty on par for SUVs in this class. And so since I mentioned it, when it does come to handling and ride quality, there's a McPherson strut front suspension with a 32mm front stabilizer bar, and in the back, multi-link independent rear suspension, and that one is gonna come with a 22mm rear stabilizer bar. And so for a little added comfort, then there are gas pressurized twin-tube shocks. But I will say, if you still wanted to have fun in the Explorer, that Sport trim is actually going to add a Sport Tune suspension as well, so it is more than cosmetic upgrades on that one, so that's there for you if you wanted it. And so, but for now, since I have not done it yet, you guys, let me do a quick little acceleration, and we will see how quickly we can get this 3.5 liter V6 here up to speed. Actually, not too bad for an SUV. I'm kind of impressed there. You're definitely not going to have any issues with merging onto the highway or anything like that. Not going to be as fast as a Mustang GT, of course, but definitely quite quick for an SUV. And so, but if you were curious about the towing numbers, if you have one of the V6 engine setups, 2017 Explorer is going to tow up to 5,000 pounds. If you go with the 2.3 liter EcoBoost 4-cylinder, that one is going to tow up to 2,000 pounds. So when it comes to visibility, this one is somewhat of a larger SUV, so you do have slight blind zones in the back corners, to be honest, but still not too bad. There is a very large window back there, so I can see perfectly fine directly out the back. So again, for a 3-row SUV, this one is right on par with the others. But so another thing I did want to mention is there are actually several different drive modes available for the 2017 Explorer. First one being normal, that is going to be your everyday on-road kind of drive mode. Then there's going to be mud rut mode, so when you get stuck in the mud, that's going to be able to help you out there. Also, there is going to be something called sand mode, and also a snow, gravel, and grass mode. But since I am on-road today, I'm just going to leave it in normal mode, but in case you were curious, to adjust those driving modes, there is a circular dial directly behind the shifter. Simply turn that to the right or left, and that is going to be how you're going to be able to adjust those driving modes. And so, but now enough with the driving dynamics. Let's check out the exterior. And so to start up front, I do want to mention that front grille will differ slightly depending on the trim level. For example, up, you are going to get more of a chrome look with the platinum trim as opposed to the sport trim, which is going to give you more of a black grille. And again, it is going to differ slightly depending on the trim level. But continuing on, there are LED low beam headlights for every trim level with halogen high beams. And those headlights do come with an automatic feature, meaning they are going to turn on automatically when it starts to get dark out. XLT trimming up is going to give you that LED signature lighting that definitely looks good. And once again, XLT trimming up is going to give you fog lights just below as well. But then making your way to the side, there are black door handles and side mirrors for the base trim. XLT is going to give you body color door handles with gloss black mirrors, which you really can't tell the difference today because I have a black exterior anyways, but they are going to be black for every different color setup you go with, and they do come with integrated turn signals for XLT and up as well. Limited trim is going to give you body colored side mirrors. Sport trim again is going to give you gloss black side mirrors, and lastly, platinum trim is going to give you chrome caps on those side mirrors and chrome door handles as well. And so, but then if you were looking for roof rails, again, XLT trimming up is going to be where you're at. And then looking down when it comes to that wheel setup, it is going to differ again based on the trim level. Base and XLT trims are going to give you 18-inch aluminum wheels. Limited is going to give you 20-inch aluminum wheels. Sport trim level is going to give you 20-inch double 5-spoke aluminum wheels with black accents. And the platinum trim is going to give you a 20-inch wheel setup, and they are going to come with a bright aluminum finish on that one. And of course, you can mix and match, and you can upgrade those 18-inch wheel sizes if you wanted to as well. But then, making your way to the back, LED tail lamps are going to come standard for all trim levels. There is a body color rear spoiler, again, for every trim level. There's going to be a rear window wiper back there as well, and just below it all, dual chrome exhaust outlets. So as always, you guys, here is that exhaust clip. So, but now since we are around back, on that key fob there is a button to pop that rear hatch, but I do want to also mention if you go with the limited trim and up, there is a hands-free rear hatch as well. So simply kick your foot under the back if your hands are full, and that's going to open up that rear hatch for you. Definitely convenient there. But then once opened up, as far as cargo capacity goes, behind that third row there is 21 cubic feet. And if you go with the limited sport or platinum trims, there is a power folding third row as well, which leads me to behind the second row, which is where cargo capacity is going to come in at 43.9 cubic feet. And with all rows folded down, 81.7 cubic feet, and there is a 12-volt power outlet in that cargo area as well. But now, making our way to the legroom, third row legroom is going to come in at 33.3 inches. So for reference, I'm an even 6 feet tall. This is how much space I had back there. And when it comes to the second row legroom, that's going to come in at 39.5 inches. And I do want to mention, if you go with the limited trim and up, you are going to get a center armrest in that second row with cup holders. But then another thing, regardless of trim level, there are going to be air vents throughout the roof of this one, helping keep comfortable all rows of passengers. So that's definitely a good thing as well. But then making your way to the front seats, the base trim and XLT trims are going to give you cloth surfaces, and you can option that XLT for leather if you wanted to. But if you wanted leather to come standard, that is going to be with the limited trim and up. And with that standard leather, you are going to get heated and ventilated seats as well, with that second row being heated as well. So that's definitely pretty nice. And then looking forward, a tilt and telescoping steering wheel is going to come standard for all trims. If you go with the XLT and up, you are going to get a leather wrap steering wheel. And the limited trim and up is going to give you a power tilt and telescoping steering wheel. But next thing I did want to mention is when it comes to the startup, there is a remote start on the limited trim and up, and you can option that for the XLT, which actually is what I have today. So if you did want to start the vehicle up with the remote, you can certainly do that for those super cold days. The Explorer is going to warm up for you before you actually get inside, which is always a good thing. But since I have that one today, to start this one, I am going to simply just put my foot on the brake and press that engine start button. And I am actually a big fan of this gauge setup as well, because on the left and the right side there are digital displays, which you can really customize to display any particular thing that you want. So that's nice. Front and center, there is your speedometer with the teal gauge needle. Definitely like that as well. And to the bottom, you can see what driving mode you're in. To adjust those left and right digital displays, you are simply going to use the steering wheel mounted controls. On the left side is going to adjust the left digital display. On the right side is going to adjust the right digital display. So pretty simple, easy to use setup there. So then when it comes to overall interior quality, there is a twin panel moonroof available. It's actually going to be standard on the Platinum, but optional on the XLT trim and up, and I do have that one today, and I am always a huge fan of that feature. But limited trim and up is going to come with ambient lighting. Again, limited trim and up is going to come with dual zone climate control, and overall I am actually quite impressed about the fit and finish of the 2017 Explorer. Definitely a ton of soft touch material. The only hard touch material is really right around the shifter, which every single vehicle has these days. Also, another thing I do like that they have the little sunglass holder on the roof there, so that's pretty nice as well. Moving on to the tech, the standard sync system is going to come standard on the base and XLT trims. XLT you can option for the Sync 3, that is actually what I have today, but Sync 3 is going to come standard on the limited trim and up. Factory navigation again comes with that Sync 3 system. Bluetooth and audio streaming is also going to come with that, and my favorite part, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. It's my favorite part because it gives you access to Google Maps, which in my opinion is the most updated maps. Also, you can like and dislike your Pandora songs up on that Sync 3 system as well, so that's definitely convenient. And you have access to iHeartRadio and a couple other apps as well. But another thing with the Sync 3, you can adjust the climate control up there, which I have grown to be quite a fan of as well. And of course, you can adjust the radio stations and things like that as well. But since I mentioned it, as far as the sound system goes for the limited trim and up, you are going to get a Sony premium sound system with 12 speakers, and actually that is the one I have today. So let's turn on the radio and test out the clarity of this one. Gene Watson in the morning never sounded so good. Actually, definitely a clear sound system on this one, not a ton of bass in that song, so I couldn't really test that part out, but I'm sure it is completely fine. I'm actually pretty impressed with the sound system on the Explorer. But then last thing I did want to mention to you guys is when you do put the vehicle in reverse, there is a reverse camera that comes standard on this one, letting you know who or what is behind you, which, as always, is going to lead me into safety. And so to start, there are front, side, and side curtain airbags. There are driver and front passenger knee airbags as well. Then in the back, there is latch, aka lower anchors and tethers for children. Also, there is an advanced track system with roll stability control and traction control. Also, within that digital display I was showing you guys earlier, there of course was that tire pressure monitoring system for each individual tire, and optional safety features include a blind spot information system with cross traffic alert, rain sensing windshield wipers, enhanced active park assist, a lane keeping system, and auto high beam headlamps. And so, but that is about it for this one, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like the video and subscribe. Feel free to follow Bob Ruth Ford at the information at the bottom there, and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
I'd like to love you, love you. I'd like to love you night and day, if I may.